This is my 2-week review of the BYD Seal Cat A. You can see this is their new color in shark gray. They've had the iconic blue color, they got black, they have white, and now this is the newest color available for end users to buy. This Cat A version starts at 188k Sing dollars inclusive of Guaranteed Cat A COE. If you want the unguaranteed one, you can bid from around 172k onwards. Now, as a benchmark, the cheapest EV or ICE car in Singapore is around 140k because COE Cat A prices are now high. They're around 105k. They fluctuate up and down. The price of cars are not affordable, and that's why BYD is introducing Cat A versions of the cars. This car was originally a Cat B version. They released Cat A versions, and you've seen other brands like Tesla, they have Cat A versions of the Model 3 and the Model Y. It is a matter of time that BYD will also introduce Cat A versions of their SUV, the Sea Lion 7. Now in this review, I'm just going to walk you through what it feels like owning this car for 2 weeks, the long-term usage experience. You've seen other reviews on this channel covering both the Cat A and Cat B versions of the BYD Seal. You'll find them in the video description and the links above. So click subscribe to stay updated to more videos on EVs. Now here, you can see with the new shark grey colors, the car's design looks really stand out, especially compared to a black. You get a very nice sharp lights here. It looks like a shark's fin, the LED lights on the side. As you come here, you've got wheels that are again slightly thicker, providing quieter ride comfort. My passengers who are again ICE car owners, EV owners, Tesla owners, when they ride in this car, they say decent comfort, quiet as well, good cabin isolation. In all EVs, all these cameras have been helping with the 360-degree camera. So a lot of EV brands have it now. Many owners from brands like Tesla wish, why don't we have our own 360 view yet? So there are a lot of pros and cons on this car driving this over 2 weeks. Here, the door handles are flush when we lock them. So I can use the car key to lock them, or you can use the BYD app. And you see when they're flush, it's easy. And this button here, when you have your app on your phone with you, you just press this, everything extends as well. It is really easy. The glass roof, now on these new Cat A ones, in this 2025 version, it can also be retracted as well. So for people who think, should I buy a sunshade? You don't have to anymore. The sunshade comes built in into the new 2025 Cat A BYD Seal. Here in the back, you will get your charge port on the rear right. The BYD Atto 3 and the Atto 2 still have the charge port in front, which can sometimes be a challenge when you want to charge a car and the charging cable isn't long enough. That means your car has to go head in. This one means you can just reverse in like most of us. The AC charging is 11 kilowatts. The DC fast charging is 110 kilowatts. This is good enough charging for most of us, and I hope that while for road trips, you definitely want faster DC charging. For Singapore driving, AC and DC here is good enough. Even if it's 7 kilowatts for AC charging, a lot of our HDB chargers are around 7 kilowatts. And you see some Chinese brands with like 22 kilowatts AC chargers. Ask the owners how much are they really charging at 22 kilowatts. Not as much yet. Now if you're going on road trips in Malaysia, Thailand, where you find some stations with 22 kilowatt AC, that is great and that's practical. Here in Singapore, it's a nice to have for now. Okay, you close this here. You come to the side. The trunk cover opens up here. Now, the Cat A versions, you can't really tell the difference in the Cat B versions. The only difference you can tell is when they have their performance version, they will have the speed there, like the 3.1 second acceleration or 3.3 second. Otherwise, this car has not been washed for my entire 2 weeks using it. And just look at how well it maintains the look. Of course, you can see a little bit of dirt down here. Just to repeat, like this car has not been washed for 2 weeks. So this shark grey maintains really well, even when you're parked outdoors. Pressing this button right above the rear camera, you see the trunk space. The trunk space is 400 liters. It's okay. There's hidden storage down here. So, you know, all these non-Tesla EVs, they still use their own black view cam. And there's extra hidden down here for all the tire repair. Experiencing like a tire that has basically not worked in Malaysia, I can really appreciate the value of either a spare tire or tire repair. Most modern EVs do not have spare tires just for space. They do have tire repair kits instead. This 400-liter trunk, you can see my backpack over here. You can see bags, and there's this also net here, so it just fits like those large bottles as well. This brand, Owana, has been really popular nowadays because you can drink without pouring up. The straw extends all the way down. Again, this video is not sponsored by them. I'm just seeing a lot of my friends using them. Okay, when we're done, you see these two buttons. This one just closes normally. If I press this button instead with the lock sign, it will close and lock the car after this as well. The use case is when you're taking groceries or you're going out, you can see the car locks, the side mirror extends in. Now let's come back to show you the rear seats before I go in the front seats again. Let me slide all the way in. In 2 weeks of using this car and ferrying passengers, the rear seats have been okay and good enough for Singapore driving. If you look at my legs, there isn't as much support for the knees here for longer road trips. And you can see when the front seats are in default height, my leg may not be able to squeeze in as much. I like to ride with a higher ride height, so you can see down here, I do get a bit more leg space when the front seats are lifted in higher ride height. There are more front pocket components here. Like if you look at a car like a Tesla Model 3, it only has one single slit. This one has 3, so 2 smaller pockets on top, one large one below. It's comfortable, it's easy to take things in and out. And the charge ports can be revealed down here. You see 1A and 1C. In a modern world, some people still have USB-A devices. But I think that all cars should move fully to USB-C. You can always use an adapter if you need a USB-A, but USB-C has faster charging speeds, so it's more future-proofed. So hopefully from next year onwards, all the BYDs only come with USB-C. You close this storage area. What I've seen my guests use is put mobile phone down here. You can see if I take my iPhone, if it can fit the normal regular size iPhone. If you have an iPhone Max, forget about it. Yeah, it's just nice for a regular iPhone. The interior lights here they are touch sequence. Of course, when the door is open, they will turn on. And this cup holder is a good height. So when, let's say, kids they're trying to play Nintendo Switch, and my daughter wants to play Nintendo Switch, or you just want to have some drinks or eat some Burger King, this is solid. Now the interior, as you can see, it's only black for BYD right now. It is dark. So some of my friends who come from my Tesla, which has a white interior, they notice like it may feel a bit like a cave, especially at night. I hope that while most people in Singapore will want black just for cleanliness and practicality, it'll be nice to have a white or beige version in the future. It will look classy. BYD can sell this for a premium price as well. Okay, this is the rear. Come join me in front, and before the front, I just want to show you the frunk because it's drizzling a little bit. So come out here. Now there is no app access to the frunk, as you all know, in the BYD. So we have to pull this hidden lever down here and pull it twice. You can see the 2X. You only pull it once, it won't fully open, so twice for safety. And as we go in front, you get a fun size frunk storage in here. Again, which is an improvement because when BYD first launched the Atto 3, there was no frunk. This is good enough for backpacks. This is good enough for some groceries. Now some of you may be wondering, does it get hot here? If I put food or fruits here, will it get hot? I think it potentially may. So you don't want to put anything that is temperature sensitive in here. If it's temperature sensitive, keep it in your car cabin, keep the air conditioning on if you need to leave the car for a while. Because you leave like chocolates here, you will be having a drink, right? Like a chocolate sundae, and no longer chocolate bars. So good space for this. This additional cover, it's actually shouldn't be needed in the future. They can just integrate a cover, a seal on top, like some other EVs. You have the BYD logo on top over here. And as the engineering gets better, the storage space will also increase. There is some hollow space. You can see when I tap, There's some hollow space in here as well. I know they need some airflow in there, but there's a way to increase storage over time. When we're done, there's one center hook here. Now be mindful, like when it test drives different EVs, some EVs have 2 hooks, so you got to be careful on how you lock it in. For this one, just one snap in the center, easy. Now let me bring the videographer to the front seat. Welcome to the front seat. You can see coming inside here, the aircon's on, everything's turned on. You don't have to manually press on off button now. So BYDs, to me, from a hardware standpoint, have been a 4 out of 5, especially from the past year. They've dramatically improved the BYD hardware, especially coming from the original BYD E6 taxis we have experienced. It is so much better. The software, if you take an ICE car software like 1 out of 5, and again, I'll give a Tesla software like a 5 out of 5, Xpeng software 4 out of 5, BYD software right now I'll say is a 3 out of 5. That means they're much better than most ICE cars, and there's still some work to do. And the work BYD has done is they have more regular software updates now. Right now, all the newer cars, you no longer need to press the start-stop button. There's still this redundancy in there, but because it recognizes the BYD app on your phone or the key, it does more like what you would expect from a modern car. So this is the BYD app. You can see that again, it's Bluetooth connected. I can see my range in here. I can look at my seats in here. I can turn on my ventilation. They still have an operation password. So I just have to key in my password, it's a 6-digit password. And once you do that, you can turn on the seat ventilation. They did not have features like this in the past. I can calibrate from power of 2 to power of 1. I can turn on the driver's side ventilation as well. If it's a cooler day where it's raining, you can turn on heating as well. The app's getting better, it's getting more responsive. You can see more features. There's vehicle status, vehicle position. You can turn on the location sharing for vehicle position. There are digital keys, so I no longer need my physical car key like this one if I don't want to. The 2 cup holders, I find that this mechanism is actually helpful because it's easier for me to slide different cup or water bottle size. The newer Teslas can be a bit more rigid cup holders, so sometimes you got to squeeze in and out a little bit. So these are actually better than the Tesla cup holders for now. Okay, this box here is for your NFC card. So you know like how EVs, you got your key card. You put a key card over here, you can activate and deactivate the car. In here, a small box storage. There are no cables in here. All the cables in front are down here. So in those hidden cubby below, you can see that there's one USB-C, one USB-A. For the USB-C, I plugged in a short wired cable so that my guests can charge their phones. Because some like our guests, they want to use the phone in the car. You can't just put it in here and use it. It's not user friendly. So people on WhatsApp, they want to scroll social media, the cable comes in handy. Both sides are chargers, unlike some of the more entry-level BYDs where only one is a charger. Here in the front, what I've been using the most is, of course, the gear shift. You may notice that the BYD Atto 2 that launched in Singapore, they don't have this gear shift anymore. The gear shift are in the stocks. And here, this is volume for media, like music. This one is just to change the car mode. So I've been keeping it in sports mode all along. It's sports, eco, and normal. I've been keeping it in sports mode because I drive a Cat B Tesla Model Y right now. And the Cat B Tesla Model Y has acceleration of 5.9 seconds, 0 to 100 in 5.9 seconds. The Cat A EVs generally have acceleration between 8 to 11 seconds. You're going to be able to overtake most ICE cars. You will struggle with a lot of EVs, especially versus the Cat B EVs. So there used to be mindset, oh, EVs instant talk can take over any car in Singapore. As our EV adoption has now grown to 41% in the first half of this year, if you see a Cat B EV, you got to give way. Yeah? So you win some, you lose some. Again, why do people buy Cat A EVs? Lower upfront cost, one. Again, this is 188K. If you buy a Cat B Seal, 200K onwards. Second, lower road tax. For a lot of people, paying 1.5K road tax for a Cat A is okay for them already. They're coming from ICE car where they're paying $500-600 road tax a year. So to them, this is still already double the road tax. On top of insurance for EVs in Singapore are still higher than ICE cars for now. So for them, if I tell them, do you want to drive like my Cat B Model Y paying 3.5K a year road tax, they'll be like, are you insane? That's why people drive a Cat A EV. I drive a Cat B because I road trip a lot and I appreciate the acceleration. 98% of us in Singapore driving here, Cat A is the way to go. And BYD has done a good job. Tesla has done a good job. I believe more and more brands like Aeon, Xpeng, they will have compelling Cat A versions as well. Even the Continental cars like BMW, they will have more Cat A EV options. Because if you don't play in Cat A, you're not playing in potentially 60% of Singapore's car market. And that's not acceptable for more and more automakers. Of course, there'll be still some purist brands, like if you're a Porsche, are you going to release a Cat A Taycan? Hell no. But for the vast majority of brands, we are going Cat A. Here, the biggest difference from a BYD and Tesla, and I compare Tesla a lot because for anyone trying to move into an EV sedan, it's really the Tesla Model 3 or the BYD Seal. These two are premium sedans. If you can think of other good EV sedans, let us know down in the video comments. I say that because most of the new brands, most of the new Chinese EVs, they're focusing on SUVs, and rightly so, because SUVs are the most popular segment, most practical for families. If someone really wants a sedan, it's BYD Seal or Model 3. So you got this touchscreen, which is again a good size, very comparable size with most of the modern EVs. The rotating screen is not something I've used practically. You can see rotation not supported when you're in iOS or Android Auto. The rotation only works when you're in their native operating system. This is BYD's operating system. Again, the screen is smooth and responsive, but the rotation only works here. In my months talking to BYD owners, I've not seen BYD owners really use the vertical orientation. In mainland China, maybe because they have their own app store. Here in Singapore, almost everyone is just keeping it horizontal. The buttons. You've seen in our past videos, 360 cam, that's the most common one. You press this button, you get a full 360 view of the car. You get to manipulate all the different mirrors. There is some distortion like a fisheye lens, so hopefully future versions have a bit less distortion. The front side cameras are okay. The front back horns are okay. The side ones have a bit more fisheye effect. Then you can see the top-down view, generally helpful. They're stitching together, that's why you can see like the back here. It doesn't look like it's one seamless look, right? Because they're stitching together the views from multiple cameras. Horn, just press the button and it horns. Intelligent Cruise Control, ICC for BYD over here. When we press this button, it's like Tesla's autopilot. Then up and down, it reduces and also reduces or increases the max speed by increments of 5 km per hour. Now the biggest difference between the BYD and Tesla's implementation is when I click this on the BYD, the max speed is my current speed. When I click this on the Tesla, the max speed is usually benchmarked on the road speed limit. That means if you're on a highway at 90 kilometers per hour, I'm driving 60. When I press the Tesla button, the max speeds are 90. In a BYD, if I'm driving 60, I'm in the highway, I need to manually up until 90 kilometers per hour. So when we talk about software improvements, this is 100% something that BYD is able to improve immediately on the software update. There's no hardware change needed for that. And so that's one small idea. This is the follow distance intuitive. You want to follow more closely to another car, or you want to give more space. In Singapore, you give more space is basically license for another car to come in between. So in Singapore, we normally narrow the space. Huh? In Europe, US, you can widen the space. Okay, media controls here. Left, right, the change tracks. Up, down, the change volume. I like this implementation of BYD more compared to the Tesla, because for the Tesla, they have the scroll wheel. To change track, you got to press. It takes a bit more effort to change song, because you can go to the screen and press the button on the Tesla. On the BYD, pressing the left right button is easy. It's like a mouse click. So this is better on the BYD. Then you will have the voice command, you have your phone calls and stocks here. So for BYDs, most of their BYDs, the turn signal is on the right stock, turn left, turn right, and then this camera will come up when you have turn signal. Now you just lightly press to turn off the turn signal, Here will be like, you can see all the raindrops in the front. You just push down, get the wipers. And the auto wipers do a pretty good job. Pull forward is to wipe the cleaner. That's it. New in the 2025 BYD Seal, they now have, you see this sunshade over here. So you can see the sunshade open. That means you don't have to manually buy or install a sunshade for your car because it gets hot. One thing to take note of is that every time you reset and come in the car, the sunshades are off. So if you're someone who wants the sunshades on all the time, I haven't found a software way yet, and I may be wrong, of keeping the sunshades open all the time. If you know, let me know down in the comments. Because I'm someone who loves the skylight. The car is dark enough already, so I want more light. In the new 2025 version, you also get this thing over here, which is, let me pull my seat back a bit. So instead of a handle, they've now turned this into a sunglass holder. Now there's no hole underneath, so if you don't wear sunglasses like me, you could keep keys maybe, like you said, you put this key, you could keep keys in here. It's not a common place where anyone is going to look for. So if you want to store keys, here, I wouldn't put coins because you see there are holes here. So if you're accelerating, the coins may come up, especially when you hard brake. But keys, easy. It's not very tall, so you don't want anything bigger than a key. But you can see our BYD key, no problem over here. And front seats, you can see again they are controlled, power controlled, both front seats. And for those of you who are newer to BYDs, if you're on Apple CarPlay, you're driving, instead of pressing all this button to change all your aircon controls, 3 fingers. 3 fingers up and down changes the temperature, and then 3 fingers left and right changes the fan speed. That's it, 3 fingers. So I learned these thanks to the kind BYD community who just taught me all these tips and tricks. And that's it. I'm going to give you one short drive around. We're here in Seletar, just for you to feel a bit of the driving experience. We'll come back to the car park here. Let me wrap up this video for us. So let's go for just a very short drive around Seletar. So again, foot on the brake, D drive, we are ready to go. The WLTP range of this car is 460 km. As you can see here, the real world range for me has been around 400 km. It's good enough for city driving. As I release my foot from the brake, the car does creep forward, so it is not single pedal driving. Because it's a sedan, we definitely feel lower to the ground compared to a SUV. And you can see those private jets over here because we're in Seletar. So some people really love riding the jets. It's a one-way exit. And just notice how quiet it is. And you can see for corners, it's comfortable. It is not the sports car, it's comfortable. It's a very good city car. And let me just do a roundabout at a slightly higher speed for you to experience a bit of the turning. So you can see this is the turning experience here on the BYD Seal. It is okay. Does a decent job. And again, for a Cat A car, and if you compare this to any Toyota or Honda, like you buy a Toyota Camry, that's 250k. You buy a Toyota Prius, that's 207k. This car is 188k. See a lot of people stopping here because they love watching all the jets. At night, people even camp out here as well. So it's a good spot here in Seletar Aerospace Park. And if I go slow and I just show you a little bit of the acceleration from a stopping position, okay, no cars here. Here we go. The 0 to 100 is about 10 seconds on this car. And this is sports mode. And when you're showing a brake experience, you can see the slow down. And there you go. That's a braking experience. Decent brake. And let's make a round and let's go back to a car park. Hopefully this just gives you a sense of again how quiet this car is. It is easy to drive. It is one of the easiest transitions coming from ICE car to EV. Turn signal on the right stalk. You make a turn. So if you've been driving an ICE car yesterday and you just suddenly got the car keys to the BYD app access, this car is no adjustment at all. Almost no adjustment at all. Whereas for a Tesla, the single pedal driving, some people does feel a bit jerky in the beginning. I got a feather. You do want to feather the accelerator and brake a bit more on any EV like this BYD Seal. However, the ramp up to drive this car comfortably is a lot shorter. As you can see, it handles decently. And when we just go back to where we were in the car park, I can just see I can make a very sharp turn. Let me stop in this corner over here and wrap up this video. Okay, here we are. And when we're done, press the P. And you don't have to press start and stop. If you just exit the car will stop by itself as well. So let me show you. See our car keys here, it still stayed here. And let's go outside and let me wrap up this video. 3 things I like about the car. 1, the price point. 188K inclusive of Cat A COE. Great. If you want a premium sedan, this is one of the most compelling options next to a Tesla Model 3. If you're buying an EV for the first time, I'm recommending test driving both sedans. Test drive first the BYD Seal if you're coming from a nice car, then test drive a Tesla Model 3. Many people, they can't take a pure minimalist look like a Tesla. This is great. That's one benefit. Second, you can see the comfort, the suspension, the noise isolation, it is solid. If you compare this with any premium Toyota, it is neck to neck. That's why the hardware on the BYD is 4 out of 5. Is it a Porsche Taycan? Not yet, but then that's why they got their Denza brand. Third thing is this car has been around for some time. So 2025 facelift upgrade is their newest iteration. BYD is now the #1 selling brand in Singapore. For a lot of people, if you've been driving a Honda or Toyota for a long time, they say, how reliable is this brand? This brand's from China. Can I trust it? I've been hearing stories on social media. BYD is working really hard to build trust. These cars are not perfect. However, they've introduced 10-year guarantees, servicing, warranty. They want people to trust these cars. And for a brand like BYD that's trying to expand internationally, you think about markets like Europe. Europe has very high standards for compliance, for safety. If they are going to survive in Europe, they have to have higher standards even here in Southeast Asia as well. And outside of China, so BYD is the #1 car brand in China. Outside of China, Singapore is the only country in the world where BYD is the #1 brand. So if you think about BYD, if you are the country manager for BYD, you only want to have a good reputation here. So they are very invested. They've been opening showrooms all around Singapore, including most recently in Waterway Point in Punggol. They're going to open more outlets in the east, in the west, and all it takes is just one piece of bad news to really impact the brand. Same like a brand like Tesla or a BMW. So they have a lot of stake. The more popular a brand is, the more they want to be around. They don't just want to sell you their first EV, they want to sell you your second EV, your third EV. If you live in landed where there are potentially multiple cars, they want you to consider multiple form factors. If you bought a sedan like this from them, they want you to buy an MPV from them as well. They want you to buy the Denza. And they can only do that by building trust. So I think the third thing to consider is there are more and more people using it. So 3 good things about BYD. Now, 3 things that can improve. 1, we talked about inside the car, the software. Right now, the BYD app is not true multi-user, it's not on cloud yet. If you use a brand like Tesla, all it takes is open a Tesla app. Even if you're overseas, you get your friend's email or the WhatsApp, you can give them car access remotely. Seamless. And your spouse, your family members, multiple people can use the same car. Right now for BYD, 1 app, 1 car. If someone else uses the BYD app, you may get logged out. So the last app user uses the car. I know BYD is working really hard on giving true multi-user experience. And to be fair, most other EV brands do not yet have true multi-app user experience as well, like a Tesla. So it's something to consider. So software. Second, resale value. Now, a lot of people are wondering, if I buy an EV for the first time, I know what resale values are in an ICE car. What about an EV? Today, because of a lot of the government incentives of up to 45K, a lot of EV brands have 0 residual value. So that's something to watch out for. Now, if you're holding the car and you plan to hold it for all the way for 10 years, maybe you want to renew the COE, no problem. But if you're trying to sell it after a few years, just be mindful that the resale value may not yet be as high as a Tesla. Teslas have the best resale value because they've been around for a long time. But the BYD, I'll say, is a close second, maybe next to a BMW. So if you think about resale values for EVs, there's Tesla on top. I see BYD and also BMW in second. The other brands are Xpeng coming around third, and everything else way below. So it's not the best, but it's not the worst as well. And it will get better. The third thing that I wish that can improve, I hope that BYD's charging speeds will continue increasing, especially for the more premium models, because like this BYD Seal, So Cat A Tesla Model 3 has DC charging speed of up to 175 kilowatts. This Cat A has a DC charging speed of 110 kilowatts. It is okay, it's not a deal breaker for Singapore driving. If you are road tripping more frequently, or maybe you're visiting relatives, friends, Penang, in Ipoh, or in KL, the DC charging speed's got to be higher. So if you're someone who road trips a lot, I wouldn't recommend this car for you. A Cat A Tesla Model 3 though, it's okay for road tripping because of the DC charging speeds. And the real world range, this one is slightly less than the Tesla Model 3. So I'll say a Tesla Model 3 I've driven for a year, the new one. The real world range would be about maybe 430 to 450 km. This one's 400 km. So again, very competent city car. For road trips, I definitely recommend a second look at other options, like the Tesla Model 3 Cat A. All in, really happy about this car being here in Singapore. We see so many Cat A BYD Seals in the country. That's just a testament for a lot of people. One, they're switching over from ICE to EV. And second, they love the design of this car. It's a sharp look. When it first came out, a lot of people were praising the design, and people continue liking this design. And this new color is great. So that's my verdict on the 2025 Cat A BYD Seal. Let me know what you like or don't like, or you're curious about down in the video comments. If you found this video useful, please click the like button and click subscribe to stay updated to more videos on BYD.